Okay, welcome to the Doyennix podcast, where we just talk. It's Doyen's adventure. It's where I just take you on my journey on how I learn stocks and just learning. It'll be like a weekly podcast that I'm gonna do. And so a little bit about myself is basically I'm Doyennix. I like doing stocks. I started for about a year and a couple months now. Uh, I still feel like I'm a beginner, learning the ropes and everything. Um, how I got into stocks, basically, a friend he just showed me like, hey, look, man, look at this thing. And I was like, oh, cool. So I looked into it. I bought here and there, but I never really got into it until earlier this year in March of 2020. No, actually May of 2020 when I really got into it. I started taking it a little more serious, started learning, and it was surprising to me that a lot of times I'll go around work and stuff and talk with people, and nobody would really, none of them was buying stocks. A lot of them worked in the company for years, but no one even owned a share into the company. I'm just like, what is up? If y'all bought when y'all first started, y'all could be making an extra 10,000 a year, or maybe have 10,000 saved up, and all you would have been spending is $50 every paycheck, and within a couple of years you just have 10,000. Just keep investing, reinvesting into your own job. And so that's what really got me to start doing it. Why do I do stocks? Basically because I want to build wealth. I want to be better off in the future. It's cool to have money now and stuff, but what happened years from now? Like, what if your retirement doesn't go right? What if this happens? And for me, my stocks was mainly used as a investment, or like a savings account. So I just put a little bit of money here and there, and then when the time came, I'll just sell all my stocks and just use that money to buy my to buy anything I need to pay off. Like one time, last year, for example, I started last year March. I kept putting money into it, and then it was about June. I had to bring my car to the shop to be fixed, and basically I didn't have the money. I was like, oh man, I have no money in my account. But then I looked at my stock portfolio, and I was like, wait a minute, I've been putting money in here for some time. Let me just use that. So I took the money out, not all of it, but most of it, and I was able to use that money. Sold all my shares, waited about a couple of days, then I took the money and basically paid off what I owed, and then I was able to get out of it. Good thing it built up a little bit. But yeah, so that's why I like to use it. That came in handy about maybe 3 times. So that was the first time. The second time was again with my car. Earlier this year in February. Another thing with my car, another issue, I didn't have the money. I wasn't even a good saver. I just became a saver like a couple weeks ago. But right now, I wasn't saving. I was just putting money to my account, if that counts as saving and stuff. Well, that's what I count it as, and that's what I've been doing. And but I never had like a savings account or I put money aside. It was just me waste money and then me put money into my stock account. I wasn't really researching the stocks. I wasn't really doing anything with the stocks. I was just putting money into a stock, find something I think people use often, and just invest into it. I try to find a cheap one. Didn't care what assets it has or how much debt it has. I just looked at it as in people use this. Like one of my main stocks in the beginning was Snapchat. I always kept looking at it like, hey, look, this stock is cheap. At that time, it was $10 last year March when I first started, and yeah, that was the main things. First stock I started with, I kept buying that. I bought a lot of cheap stocks, a lot of stocks that I forgot this one stock. It switched names, but I think it was BioScript last year in March, and I think it changed its name later in 2019. And yeah, I kept buying it. That one cost about, when I had it, like $1.80. I bought a bunch of those, and yeah, just kept buying. Just kept buying, kept buying. And then when the time came that I needed to take it out to pay off a loan that I had, or take it out to pay something off or whatever, that's what I did with the account. I wasn't investing for the long term. I was using it as a savings in a way. Um, yeah, So that's how I first got introduced into it, and that's how I use it. Currently, I have two accounts. One account I just use it as a savings. For right now, I just throw money into it, and if I never need it, I can just pull it out. Also, I have another account that I take serious, and I don't really sell stocks there. If a stock drops and I think it has the potential to grow, I'm gonna average down on it. So average down, if you guys don't know, it just means to buy it when it drops. So like, say you buy a stock, like I did. I bought Shell before it did the acquisition and became Helion. I bought it at $50, I believe. I think now it dropped to $28 currently, and I think 28. And now I'm just sitting back, waiting. So once I start getting money again, that's when I will average down on it. Well, I'm gonna do some more research before. Always research your stock. Don't just jump in. Sometimes you might need to jump in, but most of the time, no. Like a lot of great investors say, the more time you have in the game, better than just having good stocks now. You win in the long term, not always a short term. If you want short term, that's not really me. I'm more of a long term investor. I'm still learning, have a lot to learn. I do know a little bit, and I just want to share it. I just want this podcast to be something where, kind of like a documentation of how I'm learning and going through it. I basically learned what I know so far from the Wall Street Trapper. Shout out to him, man. He was a big help. If you guys want to really learn, I feel like he's a great start. He was great for me as a beginner. Even though I've been doing it for a year, and I learned about him in May. Yeah, that's how I got to where I'm at. So from May till now in October 14th is currently, I've been watching his live streams every Tuesday on Trapping Tuesday. I say really support him. He's been a great help. He's a great inspiration. He's a really good person, man. Like, you guys should just check him out. And that's how I learned so far. Let me see. The point in this is basically just, to show you guys, like, hey, look, I'm a beginner. Well, not fully a beginner, but I'm only a year in, and I have a lot to learn. So, I can teach you guys what I know so far, and then we'll just learn together from here on. And that's basically the point. I just want to, just show. Also, please comment in the comment section. Like, this is my first time really doing something like this. Yeah, my first time doing something like this. I'm not sure if the audio or however everything is supposed to be. I'm new to it. I'm 21. I'm pretty new to all this, so just let me know, like, if the audio got to be changed, or like what apps I could use. Currently, I'm just recording this off my iPhone, and yeah, just recording it, talking. Just give me help. Just let me know if I'm doing something wrong, or even if I put out, something that's not fully true, or might be wrong, or probably it was changed. Let me know and put it in the comment section. Like, I'm just talking here, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't take what I say full on serious, because I'm nowhere near a financial advisor. I'm just learning this. I'm just a beginner. I'm just trying to show you guys what I've learned and how you guys can learn from it and apply it to yourself or build yourself or whatever you got to do. Just take what I say with a grain of salt, and I'm not a financial advisor. I just want to make that clear. So, yeah. So today I just wanted to talk about GE, and right here, just notes that I went over from early in the year. Once I kind of learned how to research a stock, and I also want to talk about it. I'm just going to talk about GE for today, and you guys just let me know, like, if you like it, are you investing into it? Would you like to invest into it? Whatever you guys want to say, feel free to comment anything. I want to get some engagement to learn how you guys are. Pretty new to this. Kind of weird just talking to Mike, but we're gonna get this done. So GE is a stock. The full name is General Electric. G is just the ticker symbol. And if you don't know what a ticker symbol is, it's like when you search up a stock and you type in, a couple letters and it brings up the stock name. So if you don't know the name of the stock, just remember the ticker symbol and type it in, and you can find the stock easily. So this, what I wrote down, is as of, I believe, the middle of May or beginning of, probably ending of May or beginning of June is when I wrote all this down. I'm not really sure on the date, but yeah, I just did this real quick from back in the day. There's some old notes that I'm just gonna go over, just to see how it is. So back then, I am not too sure on the date, so let's bear with me. GE, that's the ticker symbol. Name of the company is General Electric, right? The cost at that time was $6.34, which is pretty cheap. I had a couple at that time with the stock. GE was a good stock. I was very intrigued to learn about it, and the way I invest, I want to know everything about the company. I don't want to sit there and only know that it's profitable, right? I want a company that I believe in, I trust in. I know they're gonna be a man of their word, and just understand it. So, the EPS at that time was negative 32 cents. When I say EPS, if you don't know what that means, EPS is just earnings per share. So it's basically how much money they're making off of every share that you give them. And so basically, with every share you own, they was losing about negative 32 cents. Remember, this was in the beginning of the pandemic. So, but this is for, what quarter was this again? I should wrote this all down, but I forgot. But that's back then. So, market cap. Market cap basically means how big the company is, right? Next episode, I write down the levels of market caps. I forgot the exact numbers, but I remember a small market cap is like 2 billion and less. Medium, I think, is like 3 billion. It'll be, I think, and I think 3 billion to 100 billion, I believe. And then a large market cap would be 100 billion, 200 billion, and then I think the mega market cap is about 200 billion and more. So yeah, I believe so, but I'm not too sure on that one. That's off the top of my head. I haven't seen it in a while, so don't quote me on that one. So GE, I believe, is a medium-sized market cap, 56 billion. That is market cap. This means like how much it's worth and stuff like that. So right here, I wrote down. So when I do my research, I go through notes of the company. I like to just research it and just understand it. So the total revenue in GE from 2000, I went back 4 years, just so you guys know. In 2016, and so the total revenue for the year was 119 million on December 31st, 2016. The total revenue was 19 million. The total cost of revenue, which is how much they're spending, to run the company, was $91 million. Then the gross and profit, just mean the profit, like the maximum, just basically the profit that they made, was 28 million. And then they also had a operating expense was 14 million, right? Now, in 2017, the total revenue grew from 19 million to 120 million. Then, the total cost of revenue also increased from 91 million in 2016 to 95 million. In 2016, the gross profit was 28 million, and now in 2017, the gross profit was 25 million. So you can see they had a dip there, and then you also can see why, because let me finish this. And then the total operating expense was in 2016 was 42 million, and in 2017 was 16 million. So as you can see, their cost of revenue and operating expense both increased. The cost of revenue increased by 4 million, and then the cost of operating expense increased by 2 million. Now in 2018, the total revenue grew to 121 million. The cost of revenue stayed the same at 95 million. The gross profit was the same as 25 million, and then the operating expense grew to 19 million. As you can see, it stayed the same. I probably did this a little bit wrong. The math doesn't look completely right, but you guys get to see right there. Now in 2019, which is pretty interesting, the total revenue actually dropped from 121 million to 95 million, which is really interesting. See, this is why you want to watch out and see what you're investing into. Just look into it. The cost of revenue also dropped from 95 million in 2018. The cost of revenue dropped from 95 million in 2018 to 72 million in 2019. The gross profit also dropped from 25 million to 22 million, and then the operating expense dropped from 16 million to 17 million. So you can see that they dropped across the board, especially in their gross profit, which is very interesting that you can see. So I also went back, I looked up a lot of stuff for the company, gotta look back, because the whole pandemic happened, and you have to look at what companies did in a previous bad economy to see if you can still trust them in the, like back in 2008, we had the financial crisis, right? Back then, you have to look at, if that company was around at that time, look what that company did in that time, because it'll give you a heads up of what they could do. And today, like when the whole pandemic happened. So it's a good thing that, you look back at 2008 to compare it to now to see if, can I trust this company during this time, or should I just leave? What should I do, This gives you a heads up and a reminder. So that's a good thing to also look at, is what they have done in good times and bad times, so that you can have a understanding of what they possibly could do during, right now. So, and GE almost went bankrupt in 2008 during the financial crisis. The government and Warren Buffett saved them, because the government and Warren Buffett basically bailed GE out during the 2008 crisis. And then because GE, what they did was doing wrong was, during that time, their focus was on short-term funds. Sorry if you guys are hearing a lot of cars and stuff and driving by. I'm in a busy parking lot right now, just recording it and stuff. So, But yeah, basically those bailed out by the government and Warren Buffett. And the reason why they had to be bailed out was because they was focusing too much on the short-term money funds. Right here I also wrote down, I forget why I did this, but in 2016 it says GE was 285 billion market cap, and in July 2018 it had 120 billion market cap. So as you can see, they basically dropped a lot. Remember, just recheck everything I say. You don't have to recheck everything. Just take what I say with a grain of salt and apply it to how you would look into your own investment. It's your investment. You have to figure out when or how much you want to pay for an investment, right? Like Amazon, I believe, costs around $3,000 right now. If you want to put in that money, go ahead. For me, Amazon looks like a great company, But I don't have that money, so I'm not gonna jump into it. I rather invest in some cheaper companies that I can afford, like Wendy's. That is, I think right now it's at $24, and I bought it at 21. So that was a good buy. I wish I bought more. But yeah, I go to Wendy's all the time, so I'm investing to them. Like, come on, guys. Like, what do you guys eat? Do you guys go out to fast food? You guys can invest into it. Like right now, I'm inside of a McDonald's parking lot. You can invest into McDonald's on the stock market. Do you guys go there often to eat breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Invest into it. I go to Wendy's a lot of times after work to eat because I'm hungry. And guess what? I'm an owner into it. I own 2 shares currently, I believe. And I have an iPhone. I own an Apple stock. After the split, I bought some right before the split. I bought about 4 before the split, and that's it. That's all I need. I'm good right now. Just as long as you have something into what you're using, you know. Why wear something that you don't own, you know? If you like to rock Adidas, invest in Adidas. If you like to rock Jordans, I believe Nike's own Jordan, I believe. But if you like Jordans, own Nike. If you like Nike, own Nike. Everything has something. Like I have a Honda car. I probably should own Honda. I'm gonna buy a Honda. Might as well own it, But look into it first. Don't just buy it because you own it. Just look into it. Make sure it's a good deal. Make sure you're not losing money. Make sure everything in the stock market is what's the right word? Is circumstance. You can afford it, get it. If you can afford it and you know it's good and you like it, get it. Because who knows? Maybe it could go up. Maybe it might drop. But if it drops, average down. If it goes up, just either collect your profit, sell it, or you just wait it out until it drops again and you buy more. It's all about just having time in the game, guys. That's it. Let me see. Okay, back to G now. G was first formed by Thomas Edison Electric Company. So this was all started by. Oh man, I should have written down some dates. But G is one of the oldest companies. It was here since Thomas Edison. Like that's his company that Thomas Edison started. Thomas Edison Electric Company. When it merged with all the other electric companies during that time in the 1800s. Then after that, it merged with another electric company, and now that's how it's called General Electric. It's many companies merged into one, and basically that's General Electric. The power is their largest revenue, and it's been going down. So, GE has about I believe 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, GE has about 9 types of segments into them. I think right now it's currently 8. Probably 8, I believe. 8 segments. They got rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, it's probably 7 then. Yeah, it's probably 7 segments because I remember they got rid of 1 earlier this year. I mean, in the middle of this year. So the revenues, like the segments that are inside GE. The first one is power. I believe that's like their light bulb. No, I believe that's like electricity going to houses and stuff like that. I'm not fully sure. I didn't do in depth, but I did some research into it just to get the taste of it. This was me. Remember, a couple months ago. I haven't been over this. I haven't been researching the same. I've been taking it a little bit slower right now. So the first segment is power. Then you have aviation. Then you have healthcare, oil and gas, renewable energy, GE Capital, transportation, and lighting. I believe GE sold their lighting, so that's their light bulbs. Because nowadays, light bulbs is they're lasting longer. Like I remember my mom said, she bought a light bulb and it's good for 2 years. So how often are you really gonna be buying a light bulb if you bought a pack and that fills your whole house with brand new light bulbs? That's gonna last 2 years. You're good. You're not gonna need that light bulb for a while. So they sold that off. Also, did you guys know that GE does not own their appliances? That actually, when you get their appliances, it's actually owned by another company. They just use a GE logo to tell you guys, hey, look, this is G. You can trust it. I like how they do that. For me, business is really cool. Like, owning and using tactics and doing this to sell to people. And a lot of times it's just brand name. I could sell you guys probably the best washing machine ever, but would you buy it? No, you'd be like Doyennix washing machine. Sounds stupid. And you just go to GE washing machine because you know the name GE. Like how some shoes, although they all kind of, to me, I'm not a shoe person, but to me they all look the same. Just they're different color. But some of them go for crazy amounts of money. It's all how you put the value into it. That brand is the value. So after that, also, yes. So after that, excuse me, guys. 0.1% of the shares are held by insiders. By insiders, that just means people who work inside a company. And so that lets you guys know, like, not even 1% of the shares are really owned by the actual people that work there, which is pretty interesting. 63.61% of shares are held by other institutions. Basically like a Vanguard or LLC. Vanguard is pretty cool, nigga. I'm not gonna lie. They're pretty much in every stock. Like when I go and look up some stocks back then, every time I look them up, I always see a Vanguard there. Majority of them. Always see a Vanguard, majority of them. I'm just like, wow, you guys don't play. You gotta do what you gotta do to be one of the best, I used to research a Vanguard. Never looked at them before, but it's pretty cool how they have a little piece into everything. I like that, Very smart. 63.1% are owned by insiders. 63.61% are owned by institution. 2,248 institutions are. So there's 2,248 companies that make up the 63% of institution that owns it. So that 63% is the 2,000 institutions. When you combine them all, when you combine the 2,000 institutions, when you combine them all, that equals the 63.61%. Remember, this is back a couple months ago. Things could have changed, so take this with a grain of salt. Our numbers held by institutions with shares, and it's pretty crazy, how much people can own a piece of it. Like, you're not even talking about individual persons or individual people like me and you. You're talking about institutions like an LLC or maybe a corporation or a business or a bank or whatever. All of those, they have 2,000 of them, 2,200 of them that owns it. And it's like, wow, that's really remarkable, I wish more was held by the company so they have more say, but at the same time, it's like pretty crazy how, we all can just have a piece here and there. As you guys can see, I just love stocks. I love it so much. I still got about 2 more pages of notes, So let's get through it. 7 out of the top 10 institutions shareholders sold some of their shares. I believe that was in the beginning. I believe when the first pandemic first started, I believe that's what happened. That 7 out of the top 10 shareholders sold, they just sold some of their shares, they just sold out some of it. 3 out of the top 10 bought more shares. So, out of the top 10, 7 sold some of theirs, and then 3 bought more. 8 out of the top 10. Oh, this is part of the mutual funds now. So 8 out of the top 10 mutual funds bought more shares. 2 out of the top 10 top 10 mutual funds. So this is the top 10 mutual funds. 2 of them sold some of their shares. So 8 of them. So out of the top 10 mutual funds holders, 8 bought more and 2 sold some. 4 of the top happened at four of them happened at the end of January 2020, and 6 of them happened in October and December. So where I get this information is from is basically Yahoo Finance. It's just right there for you guys. It's free. I just go on my phone or my laptop Just type in Yahoo Finance, type in inside search bar once you're on the site. Just type in the company name or type in the ticker symbol. So you either type in General Electric or you type in GE, and then you just go through it. Where I go, I look at the balance sheet, then I look at it shows you the list of the balance sheets, and it's pretty like hard at first. Like, it's gonna be like, whoa, what's this? Like, this is crazy. But back then I thought the same thing, but now I just go into it and read it. And again, where I learned this was the Wall Street Trapper. Shout outs to him, man. He really changed. Remember, me and him are not financial advisors. Do not just buy stock because we say so. Just look into it for yourself and do it on your own free whim. We're not financial advisors. So, I took his class, helped me out, I want to say 100 times. Like, literally, I got better. And the only way I messed up in the market was when I went against what he taught me. And I messed up because I was choosing greed over making a smart decision. And that messed me up a lot this year alone. But when I was just listening and just following, like, hey, look, this guy said, just look into what you're about to buy before you buy. And I didn't do that on some purchases, and I lost a lot. But on the ones I did look into, right now my portfolio is pretty green. I'm not making much, but it's green. I'm really making anything, but it's green. It's still recovering, but it's green though, so that's the good part. Okay, yeah. So that's just telling you, like, like when you go on Yahoo Finance, it tells you when some of these people bought, or you just search up, like, hey, what are the top 10? Sometimes it might not tell you, And it's like, what are the top 10 mutual fund holders of GE? And they'll show you, It's public. Just look at it, you see what they do, and then maybe you just look at why they might do it, Okay. And 9 out of 10 also happened in March. So, some people probably just saw, some of the holders, like, hey, look, these are uncertain times we're in right now, with the pandemic. Like, who would have saw? I know I didn't see any of this happening. I would never have ever expected something like this. And so, the segments I said, those as of 2018. Sorry, I didn't say that first. Oh yeah, let me tell you about the revenue also about that. Yeah, I skipped right over that. So the segments I said with the power, aviation, healthcare, oil and gas, renewable energy, GE Capital, transportation, and lighting. I think lighting is gone already. And these segments was as of 2018. The revenue for each of the segments. So this is how much percentage that, GE is making off of each segment. So from power, GE revenue, that was 29% of GE's revenue. So earlier you heard me say power was the biggest revenue for GE. Yeah, so now you can see it's 29% of the revenue. Aviation is 22%. Healthcare is 15%. Oil and gas is 14%. Renewable energy is 8%. GE Capital is 7%. Transportation is 3%, and then lighting was 2% of the revenue. So, it tells you all this. Some of these I had to search up. I did get this part, the segments from the company man on YouTube. Shout out to him also. He's a great guy. I love watching his videos. It teaches a lot. He teaches the history of the company in a very fun, interesting way, and it's really cool how he does that. So shout out to the company man on YouTube. Most of these are from me learning stuff, and I just use Yahoo Finance, or I go through YouTube and see other people talk about it, and I search up a lot of these stuff on my own sometimes. Or this one I did search up on my own. Some of these things might have changed. These are just old things. So earlier this year, and a lot of the data is from 2018, 2019 and stuff. So they're not full on current with 2020. This one says, okay, this is from GE, as in these are some stuff that are hurting GE. So first one is, um, okay, I wrote this all choppy. So right here I put hospital diversity. So I think this one was hurting GE because they was too diverse and they had so much on one plate. Like when you look at Honda and stuff, they're not making houses and planting trees and building apartments. They're just making cars and maybe some other stuff. I never really looked into Honda, but for the most part, they're making cars. With GE, they have 7 to 8 different segments. I believe 7 different segments of it. So yeah, you just gotta. Sometimes it's good to be diverse, but not too diverse, right? Also, stuff that hurt them was bad deals. People blame Jeff. I might mess up this last name. Imlet, Imelt, Imlet, for the downfall, and left for the downfall of GE over the years. Left more debt than cash available. So I think right now, well, back then when I was doing this, they had more debt than cash. GE was making a lot of GE was making a lot of bad buys. What's this? Allstorm. Allstorm. I gotta redo this. Allstorm is their biggest power source of revenue. So I believe Allstorm was a company. Sorry guys, I haven't did this. I haven't looked into GE since March. No, sorry, May. I think of May or early June. So I don't fully remember everything off the top of my head. I'm just going off my notes and take some bad notes. So Allstorm is their big power source of revenue. So I believe that's where they get majority of their money from. GE sold their appliance business. So GE Appliance isn't made by them. They're made by another company. After we look into what company owns that. They also bought Baker Hughes, which is a oil giant, and they are already looking to sell it. Howard owns GE Appliance. Oh yeah, the company that owns GE Appliance is Haier. It's Haier. Haier owns GE Appliance, I believe. People say they should have bought the mutual funds instead. I gotta redo this. The money made are half what they would have made if they have invested into mutual funds instead of the stock index. So these are notes I took in from across multiple sources and maybe wind up the window. Sorry guys, I'm just in a parking lot just recording on this stuff. And yeah, just give me a second. What do you think of my fault? Wait a second. Okay. Hopefully that sounds a lot better. What else? Okay. I believe this is not the current CEO of GE right now. I haven't done this in a while, so this is the CEO is John Flannery. The CEO just means Chief Executive Office. CFO is Chief Financial Office. Was Carolina Happy in 2019, and the CFO and Senior President early 2020 is the Carolina Happy. The CFO was 2019. Mahler Merzak is the CFO and Senior President early 2020. So I believe he's the current CFO right now. Future plan is to shrink the company size, to downsize in 3 areas. The first area is power, aviation, and renewable energy. Maybe lighting wasn't light bulbs. I think light bulbs was power. Because these three segments are mainly the money. Just take away the most money away from the company. That's making it unprofitable. Not unprofitable, but making them less profitable as they could be without them. So future plan to shrink the size of the company, the downsize in 3 years for power, aviation, and renewable energy. What I did like about GE is that they kept their word with it. To be honest, they really did. They got rid of their light bulbs. They're in the, I believe they sold Baker Hughes, or they're planning to. I need to research that one. But that is big that they're trying to do that, because once they get rid of that, that's their biggest like money drainer. Like that's taking away the most money away from them. So once they do that, they've been, I believe the CEO, what I said, John Flannery, I believe he is the current CEO right now. I believe he was the one that took over, and he's been showing that he actually standing by his word of downsizing the company by getting rid of power, aviation, and renewable energy. Once they do that, I believe GE will be really good. So in the long term, I think GE could be a very good stock. Remember, don't take what I say to heart, and everything I say is what you're going to do. Don't act on what I say. I say do the research before I say, because I could be wrong. You know, I'm probably wrong on some parts here already. So just look into it, understand, research. If you don't have to research, there's YouTube. And again, just look into the Wall Street Trapper. He does trapping Tuesdays every day at 8 p.m. I believe. And just sit back and listen, learn what you can, and apply it to yourself. The live streams are free. Just use what you can. There's a lot of ways to learn things nowadays. So just go on YouTube, type it on Google. If you use Bing or Yahoo, just type it in. Go on Yahoo Finance, just look into it. Or if not, just go on YouTube and look up how to research on Yahoo Finance. Just try stuff out, and learn it. So GE got rid of their light bulbs. They want to sell Baker Hughes. They plan to do a spin-off with the healthcare business. So basically, they'll just turn the healthcare, like take it off one of their segments, like get rid of it. But not like get rid of it. Just get it out the company and give it its own entity, its own company. Just want to separate the company into like a smaller, company. So that'll basically get rid of like 4 sections into it and make GE a smaller company with a lot more profit than money drainers. And that's why I kind of like GE, because the CEO stand by his word. It's really nice when you have a company and you see the CEO doing what he says, and he's just really, he's into it. Like he's not sitting there, saying something and then doing something else. He's actually doing what he says. It's very good to see something like that. And that's all the stuff I take into consideration. I have to look at the balance sheet. Are they making money? Have they been losing money over time? Have they been making more money over time? Why are they losing money? What makes the company money? Like, what is giving them money? What is making them lose money? What is going on? Like, what is happening? Why is this the way it is? It's research. So, like, in case something like a pandemic happens again, I hope not, but in case it happens again, you understand, like, okay, this company has to go door to door and sell. Okay, so I shouldn't probably invest into them in case this type of thing happens. But right now they're pretty good, so I could do that. Okay, did this company do good during this? Like now, when after this pandemic, who knows when it'll be over? But once it's over and if things get back to how it was, just look into the company and be like, okay, how did they do during this bad time? Was they able to come out on top? Was they able to get better, get worse? Like, what happened? Like, one company I liked that really did good during this pandemic, and I missed a lot out on, was Spotify and Lumber Liquidators. Oh man, Lumber Liquidators was just a stock. I heard somebody say it's gonna be a big one, so I just bought into it without the research, which is dumb of me. But sometimes you take the risk. But I say majority of the time, please just study. It's your money. You choose what to do with it, and I'd rather you understand what to do with your money than just jump into something because you think you can make money. Understand what you're doing. With Lumber Liquidators, I just bought into it because I heard this guy said it. It was a cheap stock. I was like, you know, it's $5. I bought a bunch of them. I made a lot of plays this year, which in my head would have worked out amazing because they did. But I didn't capitalize on them. I sold them all before what I was planning in my head. And because I did that, I lost a lot. So sometimes you guys just research and listen to your gut. Because I did the research for some of them, but I didn't listen to my gut. My gut said, "Yo, just do this, and just wait." And then I panicked, sold, and I lost. So just when you're doing this, once you do the research, you don't need to panic. I didn't do the research, so I panicked. But once you do the research, just relax, you know, because you're gonna know. You're gonna be like, okay, I gotta do this, cool. I gotta do that, awesome. I don't gotta sit back and worry because I know these guys. I trust them. You know, like some of these stuff are just brand names. You know, you're buying the brand, you're buying the image. You're not, you know. So if you could trust, if you like the brand, awesome. Now, if you can know the business and you like the business, yeah. One of my favorite things I know I talk about the Wall Street Trapper a lot in this podcast, but seriously, guys, he's a great person. Like, he really taught me a lot. I can't say thank you enough to him. You know, changed my perspective on how to own and operate with a stock or use a stock. He taught me a lot, so I have to I don't know. I have to give thanks in some way, shape, or form. So basically, with learning all this, I saved numbers for its own video. For right now, I'm just gonna talk about GE. So my plays with GE this year was I bought a couple GE back in May. I believe I bought them around $5. I sold it around maybe $6 or $7 when it hit there, which was some profit. But now I want to get back into them. I'm gonna do some more research and do an update on this pretty soon, so that it'll be more accurate. This one's just me and my first time doing it, so remember me doing this. I'm just learning these. Like I haven't done this in a while. I want to learn more about stocks. I'm going to get better as an investor. I still have a lot of room to improve. I still sometimes get my greedy impulses on and try to sell to make the profit. And I messed up. I think lumber will be a good video because that one was real greed and I missed out a lot. Once you guys hear that video, you guys will be like, geez, I need to be an investor. Because sometimes it's good just to wait, So, yeah, just, like I say, really is just research, man. Like the most time where I made some money was research. I'm not really good at the day trades. That's not my forte. I'm pretty bad at that. Other people are really amazing at that. I'm not. So just know your strong spots, know your weak spots, and go from there. But for me, I want this channel to really be like investors. I just want people who wants to invest in the long term, or have an account where it's like a savings account where you put money into it because you believe in the company, you trust the company to make and give you money in return. And then if you need it in case of a rainy day, you could, to take out, do this. But for me, I have two accounts. One for, I put money in, I play around with the market, I do this, I do that, I learn. Then I have another account where I just make my investments, like smart investments. I put a little bit in at a time every week, and once I have enough, I buy stock. If I don't buy. And I took that one serious, so I don't sell really in that one. I'm not saying you guys shouldn't sell, but I'm just saying that one I just specifically do not sell my shares because I want that one to be more serious. And I realize sometimes when I am not serious with a stock, I sell and I look at the money and I leave. So now it's just about growing, not all about just buying for right now. And again, you guys, I just want to ask you guys, please comment down below. Tell me if I'm doing something wrong. Like, I know there's a lot of car sounds. I had to keep winding up the window in my car and all that. Just let me know, like, hey, what can I do to be better? Is my phone too far away so I sound really low? Is my phone too close? Is the quality bad and stuff like that? And also, I want to say that just basically, again, just repeat what I said in the beginning. Is like, this is just a talk where I just want to talk about a stock every week. I kind of want to change it up, as in I do like different series. Like, I was thinking of, like, tell me guys what you think about this. Like, I do one week where I talk about one stock. Just talk about one stock for maybe 15 to an hour, however long. You also tell me, like, is this too long for a talk? Should I be quicker with it? Do you guys like these long explanations? Do you like me telling my own stories with these stocks? Because some of these stocks I do have a story with, some of them I don't. Do you want me to tell my story with the stocks? Do you guys like that? Do you guys, just let me know. I like the way it is so far. It's my first time, but I do want to hear your comments, your feedback, criticism on how I can do better, because I want, to make this like I want this to be like something you just sit back and just listen to. Like, oh yeah, this sounds good, you listen. You don't take what I say 100%. You just, like, okay, he's saying this, and I just want to hear him out, and I want to just take what he says, with a great grain of salt, and then we just, go from there, it'd be cool to. I want to keep this going. I want to keep, putting out videos every week. I want to do. I want to try for every Monday to make a video. Just upload a video every Monday at a certain time. I don't know what time yet. I'm just, just going through it, learning. Let me know. Like, you guys want this to be an hour? It's my first time. Please just let me know. I want to be better at this. Give me feedback. What else? Just let me know. Like, you guys want it this long? You guys want it shorter? Stuff like that. D was one of my first stocks, I believe. I know Snapchat was my very first stock I bought. I have a great story about that one too. And lumber. I also have a couple old companies that I wrote about earlier on. Let me know if you want to hear these old ones. I'm gonna remake them, but these old ones, I have Macy's, I have Spotify. They're pretty short. G was the longest one I wrote about, and I have Wingstop. Those are 4 I started with in the beginning, just to show you how I started off, and then I'll remake these so you guys can see how I've changed. So basically, this podcast, again, I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but I just want y'all to understand. I'm just doing this so that I can show y'all how I started, where I'm going to, and where I'm going to be in the future with this. Also, I'm going to be putting in, just to end it real quick, I'm going to be putting in gameplay as the background, where I'm just going to sit back. You guys going to have this gameplay playing. Most likely it's going to be like Jurassic World Evolution, maybe Fortnite, the zombie mode, not the Battle Royale, but the zombie one. And where you guys just sit back and just be like, oh, this is cool. And so you guys could see, just sit back and listen to what I'm saying, and you see this cool gameplay. I'm gonna try to make the gameplay as fun as possible. Have something there. Not gonna be nothing too fancy or too crazy. It's just gonna be, it's gonna be all right. And then, let me see. Not too crazy, nothing too fancy. Just gonna be me just playing Fortnite. I like playing the zombies one where you fight the monsters and stuff, or Jurassic World. Jurassic World, I'm gonna be be building my parks. I'm thinking about deleting them and then rebuilding the parks ground up, and stuff like that. So just let me know how you guys like it, how's it going, and just want this to be something that you guys could relax to and listen. Like, I like this, just something chill. That's the vibe I'm going for. That's it. I wish you guys the best day that y'all could have. I wish y'all the best, and stay tuned.